Cablevision Sports presents high school football. Tonight it's a battle of the unbeatens as the 4-0 Chardon Hilltoppers play at the 4-0 Euclid Panthers. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Cablevision High School Game of the Week. I'm Scott Sewell, joined as always by Patrick Pearson. As we mentioned, both teams coming in tonight, a battle of unbeaten teams, 4-0 apiece. There's a lot of similarities, Patrick, between the two clubs.
Hey, unblemished records is what they're all about, and they want to keep it that way. They're ranked numbers 2 and 3 respectively in the area polls. They're both ranked number 5 in the state. In their respective divisions. Euclid is Division 1, Chardon's Division 2. A big reason for that is the defense. Under 12 points a game given up by the Euclid Panthers. The Chardon Hilltoppers give up less than a touchdown.
Both these clubs also feature terrific running games. Gary Renner for Chardon, Tony Fisher for Euclid, two of the best in the area without question. Absolutely.
Gary Renner, the all-time leading rusher for the Chardon Hilltoppers. Very good hard work ethic. We'll see a lot of him tonight. Tony Fisher, spectacular back, 6'1", 203 pounds. He averages over 200 yards a game. 816 yards for the season, tops in the area, and one publication in the state named him the #1 back in the state.
You know, it really promises to be an outstanding ball game, so let's see what the coaches had to say. Patrick spoke with Bob Doyle of Chardon a few moments ago.
Coach, how you doing tonight? Your team comes into the game 4-0 with a pair of shutouts so far in your record. Been a very exciting season for you so far. Your leading runner, the leading runner in your school history, Gary Renner, I understand he may be a little bit nicked up tonight.
Well, actually, he's been nicked up all season. I think tonight's probably the healthiest he's been all year. He had to have an orthotic made specially for his shoe. He had a little tendon injury underneath his big toe. And it ran well all week in practice, and, you know, believe me, nobody's hoping more than me that he's healthy tonight.
Your defense is giving up less than a touchdown a game. Tonight you have a tough task. You're going against maybe the #1 running back in the state. What do you think you can do to slow down Tony Fisher?
Well, I don't know if you can slow down Tony Fisher. I think the big thing, you know, tonight is one of those total team efforts. The offense has to maintain the ball and make first downs, keep the ball out of his hands. You know, our hope is that it's going to take him, you know, 20 or 30 carries to get his 100, not 3 or 4. You know, if he's getting 100 yards in 3 or 4, it's going to be a long night for us.
Why don't you elaborate just a little bit for us, give us a couple of quick keys to the game if Chardon's going to come away with a victory tonight?
Well, I think the big thing for us is that we have to do what we've traditionally done well, which is maintain possession of the ball, grind it out, bleed a lot of time off the clock, make them have to go far to score. Field position obviously is always a big thing, but for us, you know, we have a 4-back offense with a lot of deception, and what we hope to be able to do is utilize our deception and make them play assignment football on defense and reduce the game to one-on-one opportunities.
Okay, there you have it. Coach Bob Doyle from the Chardon Hilltoppers. Coach, I appreciate your time tonight, and good luck.
Thanks. One more quick note on the Chardon Hilltoppers. Patrick, they've got an interesting way of starting their day during the course of the week.
4 days a week at 6 a.m. These kids are in the gym. It's an aggressive weight training program designed to bring out the best in strength and endurance. And Gary Renner, the running back for Chardon, gives a lot of his credit to the fact that he puts in the time in the weight room.
They are big, they are strong, they are taking on the Euclid Panthers. They are coached by Tom Bank. I spoke with Tom about tonight's game. And with Tom Bank, Tom, we spoke earlier in the week about some of the similarities, some of the things of your concerns. You said to me that the wing T offense of Chardon is something that really concerns you. What is it about that sort of an offense that really makes it difficult to defend?
There's a lot of crossing action, and the way they run it, the quarterback does an outstanding job carrying out fakes. So it's a little bit more deceptive than your normal wing T offenses.
I tried to press you on some of the similarities, and you kind of, you know, backed off of them. But there is one similarity in the fact that both teams with really good running backs, Gary Renner for Chardon. Talk a little bit about how you want to try to slow him down.
Well, we're going to play our base D. Obviously, we're going to have a couple wrinkles, but, you know, you put all your eggs in the basket to stop Renner. That make our kid in number 4 can hurt you, and then they run a pretty good play action game. So, you know, we're going to key on Renner, but our whole defense is going to be predicated on just taking him, you know, out of their offense.
Now, Tom, when you talk about offense, you talk about tailbacks. You come to Euclid, you got to talk about the tailback. Tony Fisher, just in a long list of guys, another very special back.
He's a very excellent back, but, you know, Tony couldn't get the statistics that he has without a good offensive line, and I think our offensive line is underrated. They're very big, and I think they've really developed, and we're very pleased up to this point.
Tom, quickly before we let you go, what a huge game. Both teams 4-0. A lot of anticipation in this ball game. Is this what football is all about on Friday nights?
I tell you what, if we get a full stadium, it's a gorgeous night, 2 undefeated teams. Yeah, this is what it's all about.
Tom, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's Tom Bank, head coach of the Euclid Panthers. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups. We'll have the opening tip. We'll have some keys. It's all coming up next on Cablevision. To Cleveland's best tasting pizza? Your answer is 18 years of knowing what Clevelanders want and enjoy. Using only the best ingredients, from the dough that is made fresh daily to the special sauce to the 100% provolone cheese, Rascal House uses only the best ingredients to make Cleveland's best tasting pizza. Rascal House has 4 locations to serve you, and major credit cards are accepted. Stop in or have one delivered Sunday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to midnight, or Friday or Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Rascal House, Cleveland's best tasting pizza.
Will you ever kill anybody again, Carl?
Exhilarating, mesmerizing.
I don't reckon I got no reason to kill nobody.
Order it for its virtuoso acting. Order it for its wonderful story. Order it for its unforgettable characters.
I like the way you talk.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Well, I like the way you talk.
Sling Blade. Order it on pay-per-view.
I ain't never used no hatchet that I remember.
See what everyone is raving about. Watch Sling Blade on pay-per-view.
Baywatch. Weekdays at 4 and 6 on USA, the cure for the common show.
Hold on a minute. Bring the camera down just a little bit. It feels so good when it stops. No, show me what you just did. And went like that, right? Did you go like this? Yeah, okay, here's what I'd like you to do next time. Okay? Well, as you know, I am the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason. Actually, I was proclaimed that by somebody else, and I just took it on.
That dog cat! Pay-per-view delivers a fun-filled treat for the entire family.
It's my cat.
He's a 4-legged detective prowling for kidnappers.
I don't think like a cat. Sorry, Matt. Just coughed up a hairball.
And wherever he goes, trouble is sure to follow.
You made me look stupid.
Christina Ricci, Dougie Doug.
You're not a cat person.
That Darn Cat. Warm, fuzzy, and totally fun. It's That Darn Cat on pay-per-view.
And welcome back to Euclid Sparky DiBiasio Stadium. We're just minutes away from tonight's monster matchup between the undefeated Chardon Hilltoppers and the undefeated Euclid Panthers. Patrick Pearson, as we get prepared for tonight's game, let's take a look at some very important keys to tonight's game. First of all, both teams must contain the other's running back. We touched on that briefly in the open.
Absolutely. Before we had talked about the explosiveness of these two backs, both team obviously is going to keep containment on those backs a key.
War in the trenches. How many times have we talked in the past? How many times do you hear in any football game, any level, that it sometimes is going to come down to who wins it up on the front lines? Tonight really looks to be one of those games.
We heard it in the opening. Coach Bank from Euclid said that even a back like Tony Fisher does not put up the stats that he has if he doesn't have a great offensive line in front of me. So obviously controlling the line of scrimmage, the war in the trenches is going to be a key tonight.
Well, on Euclid's front line, you've got 235, 285, 2 1/4, 295, 240. Throw in Mike Valentine at the tight end at 195. And you're big, you've got 260, 180, 85, 280, and 215 across the front line defensively for the Chardon Hilltoppers. That's just a couple of numbers real quick to give you. So again, it could be the battle right there on that front line to determine who wins this game. And finally, also trying to keep the other team's offense off the field.
Absolutely. In fact, that's going to take care of two things. You don't want your defense on the field facing that kind of offense all night, and you don't want the other offense on the field because they can put up points. Both teams can score in a hurry. Euclid's top running back has 4 touchdowns this year of over 70 yards.
Patrick, when we talked about in the open, a lot of what we talked about in the offense is the running attack. Now, Gary Renner, the all-time leading scorer at Chardon, and Antoine Tony Fisher for Euclid, two of the better backs in the area. What do you try to do to slow these guys down?
It was funny because when I talked to Coach Doyle, he said, you know what? He says, I don't even know if we can contain Tony Fisher. He said, we're going to concede that he's going to get 100 yards. That's just the way it goes. He said if he gets into 200 or 300 yards, then he's in trouble.
Chardon, coached by Bob Doyle in his 19th season. They were the Division II runner-up last year. They were state champions in 1994. Tom Bank for Euclid in his 13th year. The Euclid Panthers have won 29 consecutive Greater Cleveland Conference games. Now, tonight is an independent matchup, as Chardon is not in the CVC anymore. They have not been for a couple of seasons. However, the Euclid Panthers, when they get back in action next week, they play at Eastlake North. They will be looking to run their Greater Cleveland Conference winning streak to 30 games. Following last week's 33-7 win over Mayfield, 29 consecutive wins in conference for the Euclid Panthers.
That's right. They're looking to win their 5th straight GCC title. Doesn't look like anybody's going to stop them this year.
Now, as we said, of course, both teams undefeated last week. The Chardon Hilltoppers, they blanked the Eastlake North Rangers 18-0 in a game that actually took 2 days to finish. 2 days, the rain, the lightning and whatnot, that delayed that game. It was scoreless Friday night. They continued it Saturday night, and the Hilltoppers scored all 18 of their points in that second half. So, again, we are just a few minutes away from the kickoff, and tonight kicking away will be Ryan Harem, number 11. He kicks off for Euclid for the Chardon Hilltoppers. We wait for them to break the huddle. Scott Macker, number 31, does the kicking. Tony Fisher, number 20, and number 25, Tommy Verghese, returning for the Panthers. It's going to be Verghese at the 14-yard line. Give it to Fisher on the end around. He's got a hole, and he gets through it. Out across the 40, breaking a couple of tackles across the 45 to the 47. Great field position to start things off for the Euclid Panthers. Their starting lineup, Fred Bush, 5'8", 175-pound senior quarterback, wears number 7. Steve Dawson, number 34, your fullback. Tony Fisher, the leading rusher in the area. He is number 20. Your wideouts, Mike Creer and Will Buchanan, number 9 and 10 respectively. Mike Valentine is your tight end. Give it right to Fisher. Glides inside across the 50, down near the 45 to about the 47. Defensively for the Chardon Hilltoppers, Ken Fester, Chris Dakowitz, Scott Macker, Keith Jenkin, one of the best in the area, and Kevin Plotz. Matt Hewitt, J.R. Vess, Tim Smith are your linebackers. Keith McLeod, Brad Crow, and Ben Chuha is your defensive secondary for the Chardon Hilltoppers. They surrendered just 6.8 points per ball game. Mike Creer, number 9, will split to the bottom of the screen. 2nd down and 4. Fisher again inside the 45, stood up by number 41. That is Tim Smith. He will be short of the first down. As they unpile, we will have to wait and see where they place it. Looks to be they will place the ball just inside the 45.
Smith and both Smith and J.R. Vesey, they're in the middle strong to stop that play. Now, Scott, even with my math, Tony Fisher averages 12 yards a carry. You don't have to give him the ball too many times in order to march it down the field.
We're sitting on a 3rd down and 2. Ball spotted at the 45 of Chardon. And stopped at the line of scrimmage is going to be Steve Dawson. He's taken down by number 4, Brad Crow. Shy of the first down, we will see our first punt of the evening, and that will be Chris Harrell for the Panthers. And a good stand by Chardon to get this game underway. Scott Macker, number 31, will be deep, as will Ryan Davis. Bad snap. Harrell's going to have to throw, and looking for Fisher, knocked down by Macker at the 45. So the Chardon Hilltoppers will take over with terrific field position at their own 45.
the snap going right over the head of the punter that time. He tries to convert it on a broken fake punt. Heads up play by Macker there, knocking the ball away, not trying to catch it, not taking the chance with a tipped ball.
So the Chardon Hilltoppers of Bob Doyle will take over just outside their own 45-yard line. Skill positions of the wing T offense for Chardon. Brett Weidig, the quarterback. Brad Crow, Gary Renner, your backs. Scott Macker, Kevin Platts. Weidig going to keep it, and he goes inside the 50 down to the 47. And he'll pick up about 6 yards. That's going to be about a 2nd and 4. Let's look at the defense of Euclid. Johnny Johnson, Al Simpson, Amin Harvell, and Kevin Banks. Amos Renix, John Schnell, and Dorian Gould. Dorian Gould, we will call his name quite a bit tonight on defense in his linebacker spot. David Johnson, Tommy Verges, Terrence Moore, and Cedric Karstarfin are your Euclid Panther secondary. 2nd and 3. Weidig. That looks to be Renner, number 25, and he looks to get about 2 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd and 1, and Patrick, with all this wing T and misdirection and ball fake, I hope our viewers at home will be a little bit more understanding when we correctly, or I should say more often than not, misidentify the ball carrier.
This will be a game where one's camera ability will certainly come into play.
3rd down and 1. The 46 of Euclid, 8:35 and counting here in the first quarter. Crow is in motion, Weidig. And there you have it, first time I was wrong, it didn't take long at all. Renner kept it, and he is going to be short, so now we will get the first punt of the evening for the Chardon Hilltoppers. And again, Fisher and Karstarfin will return the punt of Scott Macker. Macker averaging 31.7 yards per punt this year. And doesn't get 31 yards on this one, at least not in the air, but he will get a Hilltopper bounce. It will fall dead at the 16-yard line, so 2nd possession for the Panthers coming up. 7:45 to play in quarter number 1. 2 good defensive stands by both clubs to get this game underway.
Absolutely, very impressive. Middle of the defensive line. I was talking to a colleague and a Chardon booster before the game. He told me I was going to be busy on the Chardon side of the defensive ball calling Chris Dakowitz all night, and you saw on their first possession that Dakowitz was solid in the middle of the line.
Bush giving it to Fisher, looking for a place to go. Great interior hustle, and I'm trying to catch his number. Number 41, Tim Smith, sliced his way in and made a terrific play on Tony Fisher. They will give Fisher a pickup of 1 2nd down and 9. I formation. Dawson, number 34. Fisher, your deep man. Give it to Fisher. And taken down after he gets across the 20. And number 17, Ben Chuha, the 6'2", 200-pound junior strong safety, hustles his way in to keep Fisher to just a 4-yard pickup, so that will bring up a 3rd and 5 from the Panthers' own 21-yard line.
An outstanding job of run support here by the Chardon defense. What that may set up for Euclid is a bit of play-action passing.
Creel splitting wide to the left. And Will Buchanan, number 10, the top of the screen. Bush, play action, rolling right side, has a man overthrown and intercepted by Keith McLeod, number 1. The ball was intended for Mike Valentine, overthrown, and Fred Bush looked like he had some time. He had a man wide open. Here's the replay.
There it is exactly as I thought. The play action was called. A tip pass over the head of the receiver. Nice interception.
Fred Bush just a little bit overthrowing his intended receiver. So the Chardon Hilltoppers will take over their second position. Again, great field position, even better than before. We'll call it the 38 of the Panthers. 6:25 and counting, quarter number 1. Macker in motion. Whiting's going to keep it, and he's going to go down. He's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down by number 45, Dorian Gould. And again, Dorian Gould really locks down the defensive line to the secondary from his middle linebacker position.
Scott, with this sort of offense, you and I are both going to have to keep our eyes wide open tonight.
I had no intention on closing him, not on a game like tonight. They'll give him a loss of 1 yard, 2nd and 11. Crow in motion, and they'll give it to him. And once again, it's Gould and his middle linebacker partner, John Schnell, number 41, another loss. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and about 13.
Back to the original line of scrimmage for Crow on a 1 yard gain. Schnell right there to snuff it out.
Just a 1 yard loss, so it will be a 3rd and 12. Good looking crowd here tonight. Look at those stands filled up for the Panthers. And an equally good turnout for the Chardon Hilltoppers across the way. We'll get a look as the evening goes on. Macker's in motion. Whiting. Renner busts his way up the middle for a first down inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Finally taken down by number 31, Cedric Karstarfin. And that's with 5:04 to play in the first half, is our first down of the evening.
There you can see the defense bit on the fake. Wide open hole on the trap up the middle. Gary Renner, the leading rusher for Chardon in their history. First down.
Under 5 minutes to go. Ball on the 27-yard line of Euclid. Again, Crow on the right side, Macker on the left. Macker's in motion behind Renner. Give it to Macker. Slips inside, tripped up by Karstarfin once again. But Macker gets down inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line.
This time Whiting does hand off to the first man through to Renner. Good continuation though. Continues with the ball fake after he hands off the ball. That's part of the key to the defense, is to sustain the deception.
Ryan Davis, number 2 at the bottom of the screen, and we have there was a delay that we had missed. So we'll set it for you once again. 4:10 and counting. Ball at the 23. 2nd down and 6. Quarter number 1 scoreless between two of the better clubs in the area. Give it to Renner. Inside the 20 to the 19. And number 55, Amos Renix, in on the tackle for the Panthers. And that will bring up a 3rd down and call it 3. There's a good look at the view you get from the Mark Smiler bucket truck right behind the goalpost.
6 Euclid Panthers at the line of scrimmage on that last play for the defense. They still managed to get a little bit of crack of daylight.
Whiting to Renner, and Renner will not get the first down. We talked about War of the Trenches. Al Simpson and Amin Harville, 77 and 71, controlled that line of scrimmage. So now what do? Your Bob Doyle is 4th and 1 from the 17.
It certainly looks like they're going to go for it.
Scott Macker does have the leg to kick a field goal of this distance, but they are going to go for it. And the Chardon faithful across the way cheering their Hilltoppers on. Whiting keeps it, trying to get outside, not gonna do it. Brett Whiting tried to keep it on the option, get outside. Number 55, Renix, one of 4 Euclid Panthers to get onside.
There you see the replay. Whiting on the ball fake up the middle to Renner. Attempted to take it up, thought he saw some room on the outside, went to take it outside. Good speed, good pursuit by the Euclid defense. Number 31, George Karstarfin, right there.
Actually, Cedric Karstarfin coming up from his right cornerback spot. And for 2 teams to score a lot of points, we talked about that. We also talked about the defense. Neither one giving up a lot of points. Neither one giving up a lot of yards. Fisher gets the carry, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tim Smith, number 41, and Kevin Platts, 44, in on the tackle. Clock continues to move. Excuse me.
Sorry. Good penetration into the backfield that time by the defensive line. Leads to no gain.
It will be 2nd down and 10. Ball stays at the 18-yard line. Buchanan, bottom of the screen, and Creel to the top. Bush got a man, and it's going to be Buchanan on the left side. Knocked out of bounds by number 29, Matt Hewitt, out at the 36-yard line, and that is 1st down number 1 for the Panthers.
Fred Bush drops back. You're going to see number 10, Will Buchanan, the receiver, comes on a sideline left pattern, gets the ball and is knocked out of bounds, but not before he can get a 1st down.
Very well thrown football by Fred Bush. Comes in 19 of 42 on the season. Back to Fisher. Gets a good block, hits the hole, and Tony Fisher's gone. Tony Fisher is going to take it the distance. You're not going to catch him. With 1:45 to play in the 1st quarter, you need 1 hole for Tony Fisher. He got it, and he gets the touchdown.
Absolutely, Scott. That is at least the 5th run of 60 or more yards for a touchdown this year for Tony Fisher. He's had runs as high as 78 yards this year. A very exciting player. He caught 1 crease on the right side of the offensive line, and he was gone.
Thanks to our good friends down at WELW, 64-yard run by Tony Fisher. Ryan Harem for the extra point, and he will boot it off to the right side. But Tony Fisher, 64 yards away, and just like that, lightning strikes, no pun intended, following last week, and the Euclid Panthers out on top, 6-0.
After doing an outstanding job of containment, all it took was one break, 1 hole.
Euclid's on top, 6-0. We'll be back after this quick timeout.
Did you see that tarantula hair, fool?
Romantic.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And have just one thing on their minds.
Can I get some?
Jamie Foxx and Tommy Davidson are looking for late night loving on pay-per-view.
Oh, yes.
And you came to the right place.
Call it crazy, call it sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Booty Call is outrageous fun.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view makes it easy to bring home the laughs.
Right back at Euclid. There you see the score. If you blinked, you missed it. Tony Fisher, 64 yards. The point after, no good, but still Euclid out on top, 6-0. Mack are going to take it back at the 8-yard line on the ensuing kickoff. Mack are not a lot of help, and he's driven out of bounds by number 25, Tommy Verges. So with 1:37 to play in quarter number 1, the Chardon Hilltoppers will take over.
Not a tremendous blocking scheme. Macker shows good speed, good ability in order to get the corner on that play and get close to the 30-yard line.
Interesting, because I'm sure these two teams don't probably find themselves on the short end of a score, despite the fact it's just 6-0. They're probably more often than not on top from the beginning, as they don't give up a whole lot of points. Macker's in motion. Whitey, give it to Renner. Left side, and he powers his way across the 35 to about the 36. So a nice little run as we're down under 1:30 to play in the 1st quarter.
2 weeks ago, Chardon did fight itself down at the half to Dayton Dunbar, but they came back to win that game 22-9.
How about you? Got those numbers all over the place there. Very good. Making me look bad, but very good nonetheless.
The key is preparation, Scott.
Pick up a 7 for Renner. It's 2nd down and 3. Ball just across the 35-yard line. Crow's in motion. Renner in motion going forward. Wrestled down after a pickup of 2. And we've got about 3 Euclid Panthers on top of him. First and foremost, Al Simpson, the 6'1", 300-pound senior defensive tackle. And like Dorian Gould, we will be calling Al Simpson all night without question, one of the finest down linemen in Greater Cleveland, if not the state.
Size and speed always makes for an imposing defender.
And we have a malfunction with the clock because all of a sudden we have, does that say 4 minutes and 9 seconds? 40 point, oh, they've got the, boy, I'll tell you, Euclid, they're all over it here. They've got the 10th of a second here, so it's 40.9 seconds. I don't think they had that clock when I was here, but of course that was a couple years ago. It's only 3 years old, I'm being told, and I've been gone considerably longer than that. So it will be a 3rd down and 1 from the 38-yard line. Down to 30 seconds. Whiting's going to keep it, and he should have gotten that first down as he is close to the 40, and they are moving the chains, so yes, indeed, it is a first down for the Chardon Hilltoppers. We're down to 21 seconds to play in quarter number 1.
No misdirection there, no ball fake, just good old-fashioned quarterback sneak right into the line.
You know, it's interesting, last week when the Hilltoppers were playing Eastlake North, Bob Doyle went to that on the Saturday night when they wrapped up the game. He felt as though they were getting maybe a little too fancy, and they came right at the Rangers last week in that second half. Final play of the first quarter. Whiting going to throw it for the first time. Crow on the right side, knocked out of bounds across the 45, but we have come to the end of quarter number 1. The Euclid Panthers jump out on top. Tony Fisher takes it 64 yards. Let's take a quick timeout. You're watching high school football on Cablevision.
Ulysses has been taken over by terrorists. Get deep into action with pay-per-view.
I now control the submarine. If you don't cooperate... Hey! I think that says it all.
What if we get someone onto the Ulysses and disarm the missiles manually?
It's dive or die for David Dudikoff. Crash dive. Pay-per-view brings the explosive thrills home.
And we are back to Euclid Sparky DiBiasio Stadium. We're set to get started for quarter number 2. Euclid Panther cheerleaders down on the sideline being harassed by Brian Foster. Brian, leave those girls alone. 2nd down and 5 for the Hilltoppers at their own 46. Misdirection. We give it to, that's not Renner. Brad Crow, number 4, nicely done. He gets across the 50 all the way down to the 40-yard line. So Brad Crow, just when you think it's Renner, you give it to Crow. As a matter of fact, Brad Crow coming in, he has 29 attempts, 269 yards. That's 9.3 yards per carry. So he can get it done as well for the Hilltoppers on the ground. There's your misdirection on the option. Give it to Crow. And Karstarfin comes up, number 31. He wasn't fooled. Stayed home, as they like to say, and takes Crow down for a loss of about 2.
So far, they've been having better luck going straight into the defense rather than trying to outquick them. A very fast Euclid defense, effective on that play.
Tom Bank told me that he wanted to try to keep his guys in alignment, and by that, don't stray, don't get carried away, stay where you're supposed to stay on the field, kind of stay with your man almost like a basketball zone defense, play your position. That will be a key in slowing down all this misdirection. So it is a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Whitey looking for Crow, and good coverage by Terrence Moore, number 32, the free safety. Moore was all over it. Whitey had to rush his throw a little bit. Lucky it wasn't intercepted.
Absolutely, that would have, there's a lot of green in front of the defender. But you made a good point, Scott, on that last play. From the time you're in Pop Warner, especially if you're playing an outside linebacker or a defensive end spot, you are taught not to let your man, the person that's going to block you, outside of you on the field. You always stay to the outside of him.
3rd down and 11 from the 40. Call it the 10. 3rd and 10 from the 40. And that's going to be Renner, and he gets down to the 36, taken down by 55, Amos Renix, and number 45, Dorian Gould. They'll give him a pickup of 4. So that brings up a 4th down and 6. So we'll get another look at Scott Macker, who will kick away. Tony Fisher, number 20, number 31, Cedric Karstarfin, back for the punt. Tony Fisher averaging 20 yards a return. Karstarfin 26. Macker high and short. Both players let it drop. Takes a Euclid bounce and down at the 8-yard line. Could have been worse.
It could have been worse. They got a good bounce. I thought Fisher, he could have fielded the ball. It would have been near the 10, but maybe better than...
Both guys kind of looking at each other, waiting for the other one to pick it up.
Yeah. Little bit of confusion.
So we're down to just 10 minutes to play here in the first half. And the Panthers, long way to go. But they do lead it 6-0 here in the second quarter.
We talked about both teams coming in here at 4-0. The average margin of victory for Euclid is over 32 points, 12 points for Chardon.
Fisher gets the call and gets tripped up, but not before getting out too close to the 14-yard line. And look to be number 41, Tim Smith. Once again, we have called his name a number of times. So they will spot it just shy of the 13. So that will give it a pickup of 4, 2nd down and 6. Fisher following that big front line, running behind Matt Gillison, number 76. All 6'2", 285 pounds of him. And that goes back to what Tom Banks said in the open about that front line.
Absolutely. He gave a ton of credit to the offensive line. And it's important no matter what. We talked about Gary Renner. He has things that contribute to his success, as does all the running backs for Euclid.
3rd and 4 from the 15. Give it to Fisher, and Fisher gets stood up. Tim Smith, 41, leading the charge. And Matt Hewitt, number 29, in on the tackle, as was number 42 for Chardon, and that would be Ken Fester. If you're just joining us, 6-0, the Euclid Panthers out on top. Tony Fisher took it 64 yards with just 1 minute 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The extra point was no good, and that's where we stand. Ryan Davis, number 2, took the punt on the run. Hey, good field position once again for Chardon, just haven't been able to cash in.
Absolutely. They're going to need to put something together. They're going to need to put some sort of points on the board. An offense like Euclid is amazing. They put up 44 points a game. In order to stay with them, they're going to need to put something in now, try and cash it in, keep the score close.
It's interesting, however, because Chardon has moved the football, but it seems as though every time they're just a couple of yards short, or maybe a couple of yards short of picking up another first down. Euclid always seems to tighten up at the right time.
And with the exception of the one big play, that's really been the story for Euclid, too, as the Chardon defense has done a good job.
Whiting looking right side, intended for Davis, and here comes a flag from the opposite side of the field. Looks to be in the direction of holding.
It was number 33, David Johnson, on the coverage there. I'm not sure if they're going to flag him or if they're going to flag a holding on the offense. We have an ineligible man downfield.
Against the offense.
73.
5 yards. Repeat it down.
How about that technology of Cablevision, as we've got the officials mic'd for sound, as we like to say in the business. Bruce Bonner shaking his head no. Oh, Bruce Bonner. He does so many things for us. I tried to get him on the third headset, and he just wouldn't have any part of it. Now, if it was hockey, he said. Sorry, Bruce. 2nd and 15. Do they have that in hockey? 2nd and 15 from the 41. Give it to Renner. He'll get inside the 40 to the 38, taken down almost immediately. Number 53 for the Euclid Panthers is Dante Thomas. There are the men in the striped shirts.
Absolutely. Wendy Babson, Ed Klobovis, Joe Zilka, Ken Schmidt, and George Itu. It was funny, I got some pronunciation coaching from the officials before the game, and I still managed to stumble on it.
I was going to say, how you ever said that umpire's name, I'll have no idea. Why don't you say that again real quick while it's on the screen?
That's Ed Klobovis.
Very nicely done. Who's the last one?
George Itu.
The back judge.
Yes.
I can say Ken Schmidt, so I'll say that one. Very nicely done. We have a timeout on the field. That gives us a chance to talk about some of the other big games in the area tonight. North at Bedford in the Greater Cleveland Conference. Both teams at 2-2, battling things out in the Greater Cleveland Conference. A big one in the Pioneer Conference. A couple of clubs that we have seen quite a bit of over the years here at Cablevision. Two undefeated clubs going at it. The Brunswick Blue Devils at 4-0. And Brecksville, we saw them a couple of weeks ago come away victorious at Revere. They too are 4-0.
Absolutely. The Bees did look good when we saw them.
And something that looks good and tastes good. How about Rascal House Pizza? 4 area locations. They were able to feed the crew tonight. And they are one of the finer pizzerias, I guess you could say, in the area. You can have it delivered, or you can stop in if you prefer. Sunday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to midnight, so all day for folks like Brian Foster who like their pizza early in the day. Friday and Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Rascal House, Cleveland's best tasting pizza. Whitey going to throw right down the middle of the field, intended for Macker, but good coverage by his number on the opposite side, Cedric Karstarfen, 31. No surprise, Karstarfen right on his man.
Absolutely. Good coverage. He's got 4 interceptions so far this year. On the play, you saw a little bit of ball fake to number 4, Brad Crow. The throw deep down the middle, just overthrown.
Those 4 interceptions by Karstarfen lead the area, 5'9", 170-pound junior. So 3rd down and 12, ball at the 38, as we're down to 7:30 to play in the first half. Good play action by Whiting, and he's got his man for the first down. Number 44 is Kevin Platts, the tight end. Just Platts' second reception of the year. That's a big one. That's a first down, and they are inside the 25 and moving as the clock continues to move down to 7:25.
Outstanding play there. You see the ball fake to Renner. That'll be effective all night. You see Platts, there he is in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, coming across the field all the way from his tight end position. A nice pitch and catch.
Karstarfen with the tackle, but if you notice, Platts just kind of ran right in the middle of, I don't know that it was a zone, but just a little soft spot, able to make the catch and pick up a first down. Davis split wide to the bottom of the screen, just in the corner there. You see him. Looking to Renner, and Renner gets down close to the 15-yard line. Gould in on the tackle, as was number 32, Terrence Moore. So now the Hilltoppers starting to put a couple of things together back-to-back on the same drive. And this is their best drive of the evening so far. There's a look at some of the numbers of Gary Renner coming into tonight's action. 5'10", 215 pounds. I guess he's still probably 5'10", 215.
I would imagine he may remain 5'10", 215.
I'll bet you he loses a couple of pounds by the end of the night. And you're going to give it to your second man, Scott Macker. He is hit and hit hard, but not before getting inside the 5 down to the 4. So Scott Macker coming from the right side.
Here you see Macker. He's going to cut back right there and go through the hole. He's going to cut back left, head up to the center, and I believe it's number 25 that lays a lick on him. There it is, number 25. You see Tommy Verges just lays him out.
And the Chardon Hilltoppers are knocking on the door as we have an injured Euclid Panther down on the field. Believe that is number 31 for the Panthers, which would be Cedric Karstarfen. Yes, it is. Wondering if we might be able to get a replay on that, if any possibilities to see what may have happened to Karstafen on that play. We check down with the truck. All right.
So far, unable to tell who the injured Euclid Panther is.
Cedric Karstafen, number 31, is the injured Panther. Well, Patrick, while we wait to see what happens with Cedric, what is Chardon doing all of a sudden? Not so much all of a sudden, but what have they been able to do to stretch this into more than 1 or 2 first downs? Here is the replay. Look for number 31. Hard to say for sure, but it looks as though he may have gotten wrenched a little bit towards the end of the play, just before the screen stopped.
Couldn't really see what happened. Scott, you asked about the success that the Hilltoppers are having right now. We touched on it before. A lot of misdirection. The defense, I'm sure, is having a hard time following the ball. There's so much ball faking. Plus, Whiting is doing an outstanding job of carrying out the fake. He takes his option and he takes his end arounds well into the secondary before he gives up on him. He does a great job of selling him, and that's a tribute to Bob Doyle and his coaching.
Well, while we wait to see the result of the injury to Cedric Karstafen, let's take a quick timeout. The Chardon Hilltoppers trying to tie things up. You're watching high school football on Cablevision.
Taiwan, the world's toughest city, needs more than an army to keep crime under control. So they sent for Jackie Chan. Pay-per-view delivers all the thrills. Jackie Chan delivers all the action without a stunt double. Order Crime Story. In-your-face action hits home with pay-per-view.
And welcome back to Euclid, where the Panthers are on top 6-0. However, as we left you at the break, Cedric Karstafen, as you see, still has yet to be taken off the field. We have yet to find out just exactly what happened to Cedric on that last play. We do understand that they have at least a board to try to move Cedric, and we have heard talk of an ambulance coming to take Cedric. Watch for number 31, I believe is when the camera angle changes. Cedric looks to be coming in for a... Look to the left of your screen. There's Cedric on the ground. It looks as though he gets twisted backwards. It really looks as though Cedric looked to be twisted backwards as he was on the ground. See if we can see it right. It looks like he's already getting ready to be knocked on the ground. To the left of the screen, is that even Cedric? Or is that Cedric standing up? Cedric may be the gentleman standing up. Hard to tell. But Cedric is without question in the middle of that. Jim Grinstead telling us we need another camera. We'll go on out and run one.
Scott, it looked to me like on that play, like as he was going down, he may have been kicked in the head or kneed in the head.
Very possible. But we still are under the impression that an ambulance is on its way. We have yet to see it.
Right there.
Now we've got a stretcher being brought out onto the field. We get a shot from Brian Foster. Should be close to his camera. There you see it. So not good news for Cedric Karstafen. Without question, hope that it's nothing lingering, because it has to be somewhat serious if you're going to bring a stretcher onto the field. It's got to be serious to some respect.
Scott, you had talked a while ago about Chardon's game last week having taken 2 days to complete. Of course, you weren't here for...
Okay, we understand that he does have feeling throughout, but they are being cautious. So if that is indeed the case, that is good news to start. want to be safe. Take your time. And we will take yet another timeout as you see the paramedics and doctors and team trainers on the field taking care of Cedric Karstarfin. Euclid out on top 6-0. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be back shortly for the rest of the first half. Chardon trailing 6-0.
Living in exile is not an easy thing.
He journeyed home only to find himself on dangerous ground.
I left as an African and came back an American.
Pay-per-view delivers an action-packed powerhouse drama.
What can I find my brother?
Ice Cube, Elizabeth Hurley, Ving Rhames.
You come up with the money or you bury your brother.
Dangerous ground. Powerful excitement, easy to order on pay-per-view.
Right back at Euclid Sparky DiBiasio Stadium, the Euclid Panthers on top 6-0. There you see the shot of Cedric Karstarfin being taken off the field via the stretcher. And again, the last word we heard that he does have feeling. However, they are just trying to be cautious, as can be expected under these conditions. And hopefully with Brian Foster and my man Daryl down on the field, we might be able to get something from the coaching staff up to us. We can find out what's going on.
Scott, while we were away, an outstanding show of sportsmanship as they were tending to Karstarfin. He got a standing ovation from both sides of the field, not only the players but the fans in attendance. And obviously no one wants anybody to get hurt. Everyone's here for some good competition, and so we wish Cedric Karstarfin the best.
Well put, and now we are ready to resume action with 6:18 to play in the first half. The Chardon Hilltoppers with their best drive of the night. They are taking over at the 4-yard line, looking to get into the scorebook. Give it to Renner, and Renner gets nothing, taken down by 77 Al Simpson. All over Weidig from the get-go.
Renner running off the right side that time as the lead man through. Weidig continued his fake, but it didn't fool the defense on that play as they swallowed up the runner.
Second down and goal from the 4. Looks to be Renner, and he looks to be short. Down to about the 1-yard line.
Scott, we saw it before. Chardon was not having a whole lot of success trying to stretch the Euclid defense out to the edges. They're trying to pound it in, pound it up the middle. We'll see what they do here on third down.
Amin Harville, number 71, wrapped up Renner. Third down and goal. Stands rumbling beneath us as the Panther faithful trying to cheer on the Panthers for the defensive stand. They're not going to get it. And didn't catch the jersey number going in. It's going to be Gary Renner. He will take it in from 1 yard out. So with 4:45 to play in quarter number 2.
You're going to see here the left guard and the left tackle fire out, allow a hole for Renner, and he just follows the big guys into the end zone.
Macker's going to come in for the kick to try to give the Hilltoppers a 1-point advantage. And he splits the uprights. So with 4:45 to play in the first half, Chardon on the scoreboard takes a 1-point lead at 7-6. Very impressive drive by Chardon. They've looked good, as we talked about briefly. They have looked good. They haven't been able to put enough good drives together, string them together to score. They looked very good on that one.
Good execution that time, leads to a touchdown. I had talked about they needed to cash it in. They needed to keep this game close because they're not an explosive type of offense that can come back from a deep hole. This gets them right back in the game. They're ahead 7-6, and we'll see where we go from here.
Gary Renner, 24 carries, 123 yards last week with a touchdown. As we said on the top, the leading the leading rusher all time for Chardon, 2,876 yards, topping the record of Mike Davies, 2,817 from all the way back in 1982. So it has taken some time, but Gary Renner is quite a runner.
Surprising, Scott. That's only Renner's third touchdown of the year for the school's all-time leading rusher, and a guy that gained over 100 yards last week. You'd maybe expect to have him put a few more points on the board, but he's certainly been an effective back.
Tommy Verges, number 25, going to switch sides with Tony Fisher. Scott Macker, number 31, will do the kicking.
Doing a head count there in the huddle as he gets ready.
Just about everything we anticipated tonight. A lot of good offense, a lot of good defense, and really, I did not anticipate a lot of scoring at all. Macker going to go right side, and Verges will take it out across the 30-yard line.
A bit of strategy comes into play from Chardon on that side. Not only do they kick away from Fisher, they had 4 men on the near side of the ball. They had 6 men covering the kickoff on the far side of the ball, which is the side that they kicked off on obvious play, trying to avoid Tony Fisher and his abilities.
Tony Fisher has returned to kick already this year. It was a punt, and it was last week of over 50 yards. He has at least one special team return. 1st and 10 from the 32 for the Panthers. Quick pitch to Fisher, looking for somewhere to go, and he'll get across the 35 to about the 37, taken down by Ben Chuha, number 17.
Absolutely. We saw Smith in pursuit on that play. He grabbed a couple of times. He got fistful of air before his teammates came and helped him out. There you see Smith following around. 41 reaches in, gets a handful of nothing. His friends and his buddies are there on the stop.
Keith McLeod, number 1, the right cornerback, also in with the first hit on the tackle. They will give Tony Fisher a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Glad you be with us. Scott Zarilla, Patrick Pierce, and the rest of the Cablevision crew. Good to be back for Friday Night Football. And
Scott, I must say it's good to have you back after a 1-week hiatus. You spent some time in Florida.
Oh yeah, I had to do some stuff down in
Life
Florida.
was rough. The rest of us here were ducking the thunder and lightning of a downpour.
Well, I ducked it when I got back on my flight, so. Fisher, left side, and he won't get much more, maybe 2, out to about the 38-yard line. Again, number 17, Ben Chuha, and also number 29, Matt Hewitt. How about Matt Hewitt versus Riverside earlier this year? 25 tackles, 5 of them for losses in one game.
That is a man-sized effort. He got some help on the play that time from the end, Ken Fester. Good team defense, very solid team defense tonight.
3rd down and 3 from the 39 for the Panthers. Fake it to Fisher, give it to 32. Terrence Moore, and he will come up short of the first down. Number 40, J.R. Vess, in on the tackle. That will bring on another punting situation for the Panthers. That means Fred Bush.
They're going to have to use that play a little bit more. They're going to have to go to more if they want that play to have any effect. You have to use that play in order to sell that play.
Patrick, Bob Doyle told me earlier in the week that he really feels as though this defensive unit he's got is on par with the best club he's ever had, which was the '94 state championship team. He thinks that much of this defense.
Absolutely, and it didn't take the 4 games so far this year to convince him of that. He thought that in the preseason.
Ryan Davis on the punt return takes it out to the 35-yard line, taken down by number 45, Dorian Gould. The Chardon Hilltoppers out on top, 7-6, 2:25 to play before halftime. And as is always the case, we will have both the bands, marching bands for you. Some of the finest in the area. So you'll have a quick little commercial break to do what you must do, but make sure you get back for both bands tonight. And I was completely fooled on that play.
That was an outstanding fake to Renner. Renner moved towards the right side of the offensive line. There was a counter. Number 4 was Brad Crow. Came right through the left side. That's the side that they scored the touchdown over. An outstanding play. They'll move the chains. Coming up on 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the first half.
Completely, without question, fooled on that play. I will admit it. A great job by Brett Whiting. And not that time. Looks to be Renner once again. He'll get across the 50 before being taken down by Schnell and also number 91, Kevin Banks, 6'2", 210 senior. Teaming up, we're under 2 minutes to play, 1:45 and counting. They're going to spot that as a 2nd down and 8, so give Renner a pickup of just 2.
We just had a score flash up on the scoreboard here. The Indians apparently are up 4-1 on the Minnesota Twins at this point.
Whiting, play action, going to throw. And tipped up and almost intercepted. Chris Harrell, number 1, had a shot at it.
He made a diving attempt on that play. You'll see the defense is tight. The defender comes up right behind the receiver. There it is. He punches the ball away. Harrell, number 1, right there, makes the diving attempt and just quite can't hang on to it.
Whiting under pressure, but Amos Renix all over the intended receiver. And Chris Harrell, I'll bet you he wished he had one more crack at that one. It'll be a 3rd down and 8 from the 49 of Chardon, and we are down to 1:20 to play in the first half, 7-6 in favor of the Chardon Hilltoppers. Hey, I've got a question for you. What is the secret to Cleveland's best tasting pizza? Do you know?
What is the secret to Cleveland's best tasting pizza?
Let me tell you, it's 18 years of knowing what Clevelanders want and enjoy, using only the best ingredients from the dough that is made fresh daily to the special sauce to the 100% provolone cheese. Rascal House uses only the best ingredients to make Cleveland's best tasting pizza. Rascal House has 4 locations to serve you, and major credit cards are accepted. Stop in or have one delivered Sunday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to midnight, Friday or Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. Rascal House, Cleveland's best tasting pizza. I can confirm that. I had myself a couple of slices, and hey!
That is not a Rascal House pizza.
It sure looks good, though. Hey, look at that. Yeah, put it in your mouth, buddy. Chew it up and swallow it.
I bet that's not as good as our pregame pizza.
I'll tell you what, though, these kids today, chew it up. Look at them. It's just too much.
Swallowing it, scarfing it down.
Look at them. Eat it already. 3rd down and 8. 1:20 to play. Ball just shy of the 50-yard line. Macker in motion. And they're going to give it to Crow around end. He'll get down to the 46. And he will be tripped up by Amos Renix, number 55.
Renix does a nice job of staying with the play. He definitely saved a 1st down on the ankle tackle. He may have saved a long gain.
And we have a timeout for the Euclid Panthers as there is 59.7 seconds remaining.
Euclid looking to save a little bit of clock, set up their offense for one last drive here in the first half.
We have a 4th down and 4. The ball will be spotted at the 46 of Euclid. All right, we'll call it a 4th and 3. Again, 59.7 seconds. Scott Macker will be in.
You see Coach Bob Doyle out in the field there talking to Macker.
Bob Doyle, we had a great little conversation with him, didn't we?
He's a humorous individual when you meet him in person.
We talked about how big. He said, I'll tell you what, if you're listening out in Chardon and you're not here at the game, which from what he told us are probably isn't anybody in Chardon. If you want to go, you can probably find a lot of businesses that are not only closed up, but unguarded. So hustle up to Chardon if you want to find some free goods. Oh, don't do that. I'm just kidding. Make sure if you're not here, watch the game on Cablevision. Mack are going to do the punting. And Fisher back deep. And that's going to go to the left side and out of bounds. Well short of Tommy Verges. Let's see where the official will spot it. And he will do so at the 26. So with 54.2 seconds to play in the first half, Euclid's got another crack at it. Try to get some more points on the board. They haven't scored since 1:45 of the first quarter when Tony Fisher took it 64 yards in a heartbeat.
I'm sure when Doyle came onto the field, he reminded the punter Macker to keep an eye on the position of number 20 and to kick away from him. I'm not sure these were quite the results he was looking for.
Fred Bush going to go right to the air, going right side, intended for number 21, Cordell Morris, and threw it out of bounds. I think Cordell, a little upset, thought he was open, hoping to get the pass a little bit sooner.
Cordell was open. It was a well-timed pass, actually. Bush throws it a little bit too far to the outside, but he throws it right before the receiver makes his break. It was a very well-timed route.
Stops the clock with 49.4 seconds to go. 2nd and 10. Fisher, your D-back. 2 wide out, split to the left, the top of your screen. Bush to the air again, going left side. Got a man, it's Buchanan. Wrestled down, but not before getting out to the 44-yard line. Nicely done, Fred Bush to Will Buchanan.
The clock stops as they move the chains. One thing you may look for here is for Euclid to send the wide receivers deep. Here you see the pass right over the middle to Buchanan. A nice catch over his head for the first down.
Bush again, and a little bit underthrown. Looked to be intended for Buchanan once again.
Continuing my thought, I have an idea that Euclid may send the receivers deep into the pattern, try and have Tony Fisher find a soft spot in the open field, because he can certainly create if you dump the ball off to him or get it to him over the middle.
Fisher only 3 receptions on the season for a 15-yard average, but not a bad thought if you can get it to him. 31.1 seconds to go in the half. Ball at the 44. 2nd down and 10. Shotgun. Bush has his man, the tight end, number 82, Brandon Richardson, the backup tight end. That'll stop the clock momentarily. Just notice Fred Bush has the all yellow, no blue socks. Must have went to the Jim Thome School of
He's got the yellow tape on the shoes and everything. An 11-yard pickup on that play.
Ball right on the 45. Clock moving once again. Bush again in the shotgun. Greer to the right side, but he goes left side. And that time, Cordell Morris had it, but dropped it out of bounds. Down to 14.2 seconds.
The throw a little to the outside behind the receiver. I'm not sure. He probably could have caught it if he let him inside, and I think he may have lost it when he turned to go upfield.
Ryan Harem, the kicker for the Euclid Panthers, has a good leg, but
not from this distance.
Not from this distance.
Probably 2, maybe 3 plays left here if they can get a first down with the time allotted.
Bush looking for a man, and it's almost intercepted. Brad Crow, free safety, had a shot at it, but he dropped it as well. Brad Crow coming into tonight's game with 2 interceptions. Could have had 3. We are now down to what looks to be 6.9 seconds, and we will be at a 3rd down and 10 from the 45.
Crow certainly looked like he should have had that ball. However, no harm done as long as Euclid doesn't cash in on this.
Greer coming across and taken down by number 41. That's Tim Smith. We have run out of time. We have come to halftime. Everything that we thought it would be, Patrick. The Chardon Hilltoppers by 1 over the Euclid Panthers, 7-6. Let's take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have both the bands. You're watching the best of area high school football on Cablevision.
Are you alone in the house? Lock the doors. Don't answer the phone.
What do you want?
We told you not to answer the phone! The director's cut of the biggest horror film of all time comes home on pay-per-view.
Help me, somebody!
And it's got everyone screaming for more. Wes Craven knows how to make you scream. Don't miss the special director's cut of Scream on pay-per-view.
Every weekend there's lots of college football you want to see, but can't. One solution, get cloned. Get yourselves tickets and hit the road. Here's a better game plan.
ESPN game plan.
Every weekend, great college football games from top conferences you can't normally see, sent right to you. So subscribe now.
The ESPN game plan. It can't be duplicated.
Check Friday's USA Today for Saturday's game plan.
Best actor Jeffrey Rush shines on pay-per-view.
You have a very special talent, Dave.
More remarkable than his talent is the story of his life.
I won't let anyone destroy this family.
Extraordinary. Uplifting. A winner in every way.
It's monumental.
Shine. Once seen, forever remembered. Award-winning entertainment comes home on pay-per-view.
There are many ways to surprise your mom. Show her you care. But if you get involved with drugs, you'll give your mom the surprise of her life. Federal laws for any drug involvement are tough. You'll end up in prison without parole. And your mom will feel the pain forever. Think about it now, or you'll have a long, long time to think about all you've lost.
mafia family, and that is where Joe is undercover. He learned their ways. He lived their lives.
I'm not becoming like that, Maggie. I am them.
But can this FBI agent finish the job?
If I come out left, he dies.
Pay-per-view delivers the true story of one man's infiltration of the mob.
You get sent for, you go in alive, you come out dead.
Al Pacino, Johnny Depp, Donnie Brasco. Riveting drama is easy to order on pay-per-view.
Give me the funk now!
They're the faces you know and the shows you love. Now, for one night only,
Cable 8.
Cable 8.
Cable 8.
Cable television brings you its best.
And the nominees for actor,
directing,
variety, children's specials, comedy.
Now the Cable Ace goes to...
Check out the 19th annual Cable Ace Awards.
I love it!
Saturday, November 15th at 9 p.m. exclusively on TNT.
Watch TNT on Cablevision.
And welcome back to Euclid High School. 7-6, the Chardon Hilltoppers in a well-played first half. It was everything we thought it would be. Here are your halftime statistics. And Patrick Pearson, anything really stand out to you? They look pretty even throughout.
It is pretty even. No turnovers. It's been a very competitive, very well-played, very clean game.
Total yards, you see the advantage to Euclid. Most of that, the 64-yard touchdown run, courtesy of Tony Fisher. Tony Fisher, 10 carries, 91 yards. However, take away 64-yard rush, he's only 9 for 27. So a Chardon has done a nice job of keeping Tony Fisher. And also Gary Renner, 14 for 37, leading the way for Chardon. There are your keys. Hey, Patrick, how about those war in the trenches? That's pretty much what we talked about being the major one.
Absolutely. Let's go to the kickoff, then we'll come back. We'll talk about those keys in a second.
And Chardon will take the ball. Macker's going to take it across the 30 to the 35 to the 38-yard line. And that is where the Hilltoppers will take over. Also, if you remember, in that first half, we talked about both teams containing the other team's running back. I think for the better part, with the exception of one big play, both teams have done that.
Absolutely. Chardon's been able to overcome that one big play. That was all. Tony Fisher hasn't killed them. The war in the trenches, not really won by either team at this point. You got to kind of call it a draw. And then keeping the other teams off the field, both really done kind of a good job there. They've been able to control the ball, sustain their drives.
So the Hilltoppers will start the second half, give it to Brad Crow, and he gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and he will go down at the 35, and he is taken down by number 32, Terrence Moore. Speaking of the defensive backfield of Euclid, if you remember, Cedric Karstarfen went down. We understand that Cedric suffered a pretty severe hit to the neck. He never did lose consciousness, was taken off on the stretcher, and is at the local hospital, and that is the latest word we heard.
Scott, we do understand also the important thing there is that he does have feeling in all of his extremities and full movement. So, of course, we're grateful for that.
So hopefully Cedric is watching us Saturday morning and feeling much better. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Chardon Hilltoppers, under 11 minutes to play. Scott Zarilla, Patrick Pearson, and the rest of the Cablevision crew. And we also want to thank Rascal House Pizza for local restaurants that they can take care of your pizza needs every Friday night, Saturday night, or any night for that matter. 3rd down and 9 from the 38. Whiting going to keep it on the option and going to give it to Macker coming around, and he's not getting anywhere. Going to lose a couple of more yards, taken down by number 20. And that is Tony Fisher. Comes in, play a little bit of backfield defensively for the Euclid Panthers.
Here you're going to see a solid defensive play all around. Renner's the first man through. They stick him. You see Whiting faked out our camera. Our first bluff there. You'll see here he is after the pitch. Macker gets taken down. Again, strong pursuit, very fast to the outside tonight by the Euclid defense.
Macker to kick away, and they're going to go to Tommy Verges, number 25. He'll take it up to 23, looking for somewhere to go. Gets about 5 out to the 28-yard line, taken down by a number of Hilltoppers, number 41, Tim Smith. And right now, Tim Smith is your, I would say, most valuable player for the Hilltoppers. We have called his number numerous times tonight, doing a nice job spearheading that Hilltopper defense.
Absolutely. Strong up the middle is the key to the defense, and so far they've been very strong there. Coming into this game, Barberton 3 weeks ago held Euclid to 14 points in the first half. That was, up until tonight, their lowest first half output.
I formation, you're going to give it to Tony Fisher, and Tony Fisher is tripped up. Chris Dakowitz, number 73, 6 foot, 260-pound junior, coming into tonight, leading the way with 32 tackles, 15 sacks, tops on the Hilltopper defense.
I have to give thanks to my friend from Chardon, Dave. I was talking to him before the game, and he tipped me off. He said Dakowitz is going to be all over the field tonight. Their time, there he was. He was sliced right through and took Fisher down one-on-one.
Fisher able to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Bush going to go to the air this time under pressure, gets it away and finds his man. Number 9 is Mike Creer. That's good for a 1st down, and that is a big play for the Panthers as he gets out near the 45-yard line.
Here you see a play where Euclid had a near miss in the first half. This time they connect. Bush throws the ball right as the receiver breaks. Creer with a nice snag. Gets out of bounds, but he gets a 1st down.
Mike Creer coming into tonight's action, the leading receiver for the Euclid Panthers. 8 for 112 yards, good for 14 yards per catch. We also have a flag. We have not found what the infraction is, but it is against Chardon. And a big advantage for the Panthers. Not only will they take the reception, but it is a roughing the passer.
The defense, 15 yards tacked on to the end of the play. First 44.
A big play for Euclid. As you heard, not only did Mike Creer pick up the first down on the reception, but number 44 for the Hilltoppers, Kevin Platts, roughed Fred Bush and check on the 15 yards all the way down to the 42 of Chardon. And you give it to Tony Fisher, and he slices his way down to the 39.
Scott, I had made mention of the fact that the first half was a very clean, very well played, competitive half. That kind of mistake, a roughing the penalty right here early in the second half, is not the kind of thing that Chardon can afford to do.
Clock continues to move, 8:40 to go in quarter number 3. Battle of the Titans. 4-0 Chardon, 4-0 Euclid, 7-6 Chardon on top. Tony Fisher got a hole, but it closed quickly. He's hit hard by number 2, Ryan Davis, and Tim Smith there as well. Looked like Fisher had a lot of space, but that closed up quickly.
Davis and Smith with a huge stick on this play. You'll see Fisher comes right through the line, and he just got laid out.
Tony Fisher bouncing back from an injury-plagued junior season. Already well over 800 yards and being recruited by virtually every major school in the country collegiately. Fred Bush trying to keep it and get outside. He's not going to do it. Matt Hewitt, 29, stayed home and kept Fred Bush short of the first down.
You talked about the colleges that are interested. Of course, it's the publication Football Prospects of Ohio ranked Fisher #1 running back in the state in their preseason magazine.
So the Euclid Panthers will be stopped just shy of the 35-yard line. It's going to be a 4th down and 4. And they look to be punting. Fred Bush pulls down the high snap and takes a Euclid bounce inside the 5, and they will down it. No, they will not. Looked like they waited a little bit too long to jump on that. The official will mark it into the end zone. So what could have been near disaster for Chardon turns out to be not too bad. They'll take it at their own 20.
Euclid very disappointed in their coverage right there. They had a chance to down the ball well inside, perhaps even inside the 1 of the Hilltoppers. Initial contact was made at about the 2. The ball skips into the end zone, the defender on the goal line, and they call that a touchback.
Chardon takes over for their second possession of the second half at their own 20, leading it 7-6. One wide out split to the top of the screen. And give it to Renner. And Renner makes it out close to the 25 before being hit and stopped by number 55, Amos Renix. Forward momentum will take Renner out to about the 25, so give him a pickup. Let's call it 5. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. Renner again, nowhere to go, and he loses a couple of yards. Number 77, Al Simpson, making the tackle. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Good penetration that time by the interior of the line, Armin Harville and Al Simpson right there. Nice job. It's important to stop the man up the middle first.
3rd and 7. Ryan Davis, number 2, split wide to the right, the bottom of the screen. White gonna throw, looking for Davis. Got him open, just off the fingertips of Davis at the 40-yard line. Good coverage by number 33, David Johnson. That was a well-thrown football, just off the fingertips. 4th down for Chardon.
Absolutely, and Davis had beaten Johnson. Here you see the ball fake right there. Whiting gets rid of the ball, and Davis is out there just off the fingertips as he had a step on the defender.
So Davis and, Tommy Verghese and Tony Fisher back for the punt at their own 42. Fisher going to fair catch it at the 46-yard line. Pretty good field position for the Panthers. They haven't had much of that.
We do have a flag on the play, Scott, back near the line of scrimmage. We'll see what the call is going to be.
We will have holding
Kicking
against
team.
the Chardon Hilltoppers.
You don't want the...
We heard the end of the call from the referee.
All right, here. Come here. Make sure here, okay? And it's 10 yards. It's here. Turn and talk to me. 10 yards from the previous spot and repeat the down. So it'll be. You want the 10-yard penalty and then okay. They're taking a penalty. Holding against the offense. Repeat fourth down. Inbounds.
There we go. Very nicely done.
I wonder if that's my friend Klobovis.
Oh, jeez. Gee, I wonder if he has a first name. Nonetheless, the Chardon Hilltoppers will be forced to re-kick. Back them up to the 15. So Fisher and Verghese will be standing inside the 50. They hope to get even better field position, but Macker gets a good kick, driving Fisher back to the 42. Shakes a couple of tackles inside the 40, near the 35. A good punt by Scott Macker, but Tony Fisher made a lot out of nothing.
Absolutely. The kick on that time, classic case, may have outkicked the coverage. There was one man there to make the tackle, and Fisher made him miss.
But another flag.
Chardon will take it from here back, and it's Euclid's ball, 1st and 10.
So that will go against the Euclid Panthers, and they will back it up. So they, in essence...
We have clipping against the return team, 15 yards, 1st and 10.
You'll see the guy that had the penalty was the first man down.
Down to 5:19 to play in the third quarter, 7-6, Chardon on top. The Panthers will take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Mike Creer, number 9, will split wide to the left, the bottom of the screen. Will Buchanan, number 10 at the top. And you're going to give it to the first man, Steve Dawson. Dawson maybe picked up a yard on the play.
Macker and Jenkins right there on the in the middle of the defensive line.
They'll give Dawson
solid all night.
Dawson with a pickup of 1 second down and 9. Just shy of the 30-yard line with 29. Fake it. Bush down the middle. Almost intercepted in and out of the hands of number 29, Matt Hewitt. Hewitt right in his hands.
Talk about wanting one over again. He couldn't have asked for any better interception ball on that one.
Bush had his man. However, Hewitt was able to close very quickly and step in front. Watch number 29.
You'll see there's an open receiver right behind Hewitt. Hewitt flashes in, though, right in the path of the ball.
3rd down and 9, 4:40 to go. Bush looking left side and finds his man. And they will call that a completion, but he will be short of the first down. Tony Fisher at the 36, but he's still about 2 yards shy. So 4th down and 2, and that will bring on Fred Bush to punt away once again. Not bad field position for the Panthers, but give the Hilltopper defense all the credit in the world. They have really done a job of slowing down the Panthers. And Bush line drives a knuckleball that bounces at the 36, rolls to the 31, and is marked down.
Macker coming up to field the punt that time, lost his footing, thought more wisely of letting the ball go, definitely made the right decision there.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Chardon Hilltoppers. 3:53 to play in quarter number 3. The ball will be spotted at the 31 of Chardon. Give it to Renner, and he keeps going. Looked like he was down, but he'll get across the 35 to the 36 before being hog-tied and drugged down by number 33, David Johnson.
Good leg drive on display there from Renner. He smacked into the line right away and appeared to be stopped, drove through and picked up, we're going to call it 4 yards.
Second down and 5. Crow in motion, give it to him left side. And he makes his way across the 40, close to the 41, which should be good enough for another Chardon Hilltopper first down. And he is taken down by Tommy Verges, number 25, the strong safety. And it is good for the first down for the Hilltoppers. Clock continues to move at 3:05 and counting. Ball at the 41-yard line. Give it to Renner, and he'll pick up 2. Amos Renix once again in on the tackle, number 55. And last to get up off the ground, Al Simpson in the middle of all that once again.
Scott, I've got to believe before this this game is over, we're going to see a fairly decent-sized run by Wieding. He does a great job every play of selling that fake, and if he can get the defense to bite on that first man through, I'm sure he'll be able to turn the corner one of these times.
Ball just shy of the 45, 2nd and 6. Crow in motion. And Whiting kept the ball, made his way out to the 48-yard line. Tommy Verges in on the tackle. They'll give him 3. 3rd down and 3. We're under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Chardon trying to eat up some clock, keep Tony Fisher off the field, add to a 1-point advantage. They're up 7-6, courtesy of a 1-yard touchdown run by Gary Renner with 4:45 to go in the first half. Brad Crow on the run. He will be short, so that will bring up a 4th down and 3. They got him back to the line of scrimmage. 1:15 and counting. Tony Fisher, Tommy Verges back again to receive the punt by Scott Macker. Not a bad kick by Macker, and that will bounce out of bounds inside the 15, just shy of the 15. Hard to see from this angle. Looks to be about the 15, 16-yard line. 56 seconds to play. The Panthers will take over possession.
Scott, you talked about the play of Tim Smith up the middle for the Chardon Hilltoppers. I'm not sure that you can single anyone out. I think at this point the entire Chardon, there we are.
High above the stands.
The entire Chardon Hilltopper defense has got to be the most valuable player. They came in giving up less than a touchdown a game, and tonight they've been outstanding.
Give it to Fisher, got a big hole, and Tony Fisher is gone. Tony Fisher is going to take it 85 yards. And again, lightning strikes.
You saw a foot race at the end. There it was. between Macker and Fisher. Fisher manages it to win. Just an outstanding play. Here you see it, one hole. He's going to make two people miss here. There you go. Macker 31 comes into your picture. He's trailing behind. He looks like he may have an angle, but he cannot catch Fisher.
You said the hole, one hole, that's all he needed. Outstanding speed, Tony Fisher, and very reminiscent. Tony Fisher, 179 yards on the night.
On the offense.
Dave Ramnerine of WELW Radio helping us out with some numbers.
That's good. Dead ball.
There's a flag, dead ball. Have a timeout for Euclid.
Yep, after the play, we had an unsportsmanlike call against Euclid. A lot of excitement going on here.
So the Panthers will be forced to go for the extra point from the 18-yard line. They are back in the lead, but they would like the two-point conversion to go up by a full 7. Bush looking right side, got his man, Creer, and he's got him. Creer, 18-yard pass from Bush.
He runs a little stop pattern. He goes down to the goal line, curls back, comes to the 2-yard line to make the reception, and he finds his way into the end zone.
What a great throw by Fred Bush. Let's take a quick timeout. Euclid's back on top, 14-7. You're watching high school football on Cablevision.
There's a war going on in that mafia family, and that is where Joe is undercover.
He learned their ways. He lived their lives.
I'm not becoming like that, Maggie. I am them.
But can this FBI agent finish the job?
If I come out, Lefty dies.
Pay-per-view delivers the true story of one man's infiltration of the mob.
You get sent for, you go in alive, you come out dead.
Al Pacino, Johnny Depp, Donnie Brasco. Riveting drama is easy to order on pay-per-view.
Welcome back to Euclid Sparky DiBiasio Stadium. The Euclid Panthers back on top, 14-7, courtesy of an 83-yard touchdown run by Tony Fisher. Tony Fisher has 2 rushing first downs. That's all that the Panthers have managed tonight, and of course both of those on touchdown runs. And a very impressive 2-point pass conversion from Fred Bush to Mike Creer, 18 yards. To put the Panthers back up by that even 7, and that was a big 2-point conversion.
Absolutely. Scott, I'm going to say this, and this may sound obvious, that's Fisher's longest touchdown run of the year, but not only is that his longest, he has 6 of over 60 yards this season.
An incredible offensive talent. 18 touchdowns on the season. Weidig is going to give it off, and it looks to be Renner. Runner out to the 23, taken down by Al Simpson once again. Clock continues to move down to 15 seconds. The Toppers may be able to sneak in one more play. No, the Toppers won't do it. We are out of time once again. You see the clock spinning down to zeros. We've come to the end of 3 quarters of play. It has been a good one. The Euclid Panthers out on top by 7, 14-7. Don't go away. An exciting fourth quarters coming up next on Cablevision.
You must see Evita at home on pay-per-view. Madonna, Antonio Banderas, Jonathan Pryce. In the musical masterpiece that won Best Song of the Year. Experience the joy and tragedy of the legend the world calls Evita.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Welcome back to Euclid High School. The Euclid Panthers and Chardon Hilltoppers coming down the home stretch at the start of the fourth quarter. The Hilltoppers taking over at the 27. Wide play action, gonna go to the man. Wide open is Ryan Davis, and Ryan Davis is taken down to the 15 and out of bounds. A big play by the Hilltoppers. Tommy Verges, number 25, saved the possible touchdown. We've been watching Chardon run it all night. Now they go to the air.
Absolutely. The running all night is going to set up the pass. They do a lot of play action. There you see a nice catch over the shoulder by number 2, Davis. Caught from behind by Verges.
How times change. Last week, the Euclid Panthers surrendered only 60 yards to the Mayfield Wildcats all night long. It's very safe to say, without the specific numbers, Chardon close to or over 200 yards on the night. Give it to Renner, just shy of the 15-yard line. Taken down by Al Simpson, number 77.
Chardon having battled all night to get up to that 7-6 lead that they had at halftime. Gave it up on the big play to Fisher and the 2-point conversion. Maybe their heads were a little down, but boy, an exciting play like that sure picks your team up.
Without question, both teams with the capability of the big play. We've seen 2 of them from Euclid. There's a big play by the Hilltoppers. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Renner powering his way inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. That'll be good for a pickup of about 7. So bring up a 3rd down and 3 from the 7.
A great show there, Scott, of what we had talked about in the pregame. Leg strength from the weight training that the Chardon Hilltoppers do. We talked about how much Fenner gives credit to his work ethic, and the fact that Doyle puts his troops through the weight training.
3rd down and 3. Renner, he'll be close. Number 71, Amin Harville. And number 21, Cordell Morris in on the tackle. And we have a timeout for Euclid. Let's remind you of some of the other big games going on tonight. North and Bedford in the Greater Cleveland Conference. In the Pioneer Conference, Brunswick and Brecksville. And also in the Southwestern Conference, undefeated Westlake Demons are playing at the undefeated Avon Lake Shoremen. Now remember, we are out and about each and every Friday night during the regular season for the best in area high school football. Dial us up on channels 24 and 45. Friday nights at 10:30 and also Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. So again, every Friday night, Cablevision, look for the very distinctive blue and white trucks as we are coming to your high school for the best in area football. If you can't make it out to the game, good look at Bob Doyle with his guys trying to get into the end zone. But don't forget, if you can't make it out to the high school for the game, dial us up Friday nights, 10:30, channels 24 and 45, and on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. 19 years as the head coach would be Bob Doyle. Again, Division II state runners-up last year. They won it all in 1994, 10-2 last year. Just an outstanding program. It just doesn't seem like long ago that Chardon was really struggling to get a win. Give it to Renner, and Renner bounces off a couple of defenders and makes his way into the end zone. Touchdown. Gary Renner, a 5-yard run. And just like that, Chardon looking to tie it back up.
You see Euclid puts a hat on, and they put a hit on him, but they don't wrap him up. There's nobody there to stop him, and he walks into the end zone after the initial contact.
Scott Macker in to attempt the extra point. He made his first one back in quarter number 2. And he'll get it. We are tied at 14 with 10:02 to play. Just what we thought it would be. Don't go away. We've still got 10 minutes to go. Take a quick timeout. Chardon and Euclid tied at 14.
When a confirmed bachelor rushes into romance, expect the unexpected.
So, how you been? Pregnant.
Now these newlyweds must learn to live together or live apart.
Todo lo que me has dicho mentiras. That means you're a liar and a coward.
Sounded so much prettier in Spanish.
Make a date with Matthew Perry and Selma Hayek. Order Fools Rush In on pay-per-view.
This is so romantic.
Wonderful comedy you can't help but love. Delivered home on pay-per-view.
We've got great football. We've also got great pizza. The best tasting pizza in Cleveland is Rascal House. They use only the best ingredients, from the dough that is made fresh daily to the special sauce. 100% provolone cheese. Rascal House uses only the best ingredients to make Cleveland's best tasting pizza. 4 area locations. Give them a call. Stop in, have one delivered, use your credit card. Rascal House, Cleveland's best tasting pizza. 10:02 to play, fourth quarter, 14-14. Offense is starting to open up just a little bit as we have each team scoring here in the second half. And Patrick, how big was that 2-point conversion not long ago by the Panthers?
I don't. At this point, I don't think that you can put an amount on it. Oh, you see a little reverse there, a handoff to Fisher.
Still on his feet, finally taken down, but it took somebody from behind as Fisher makes his way out to the 44. Tommy Verges, number 25, took the initial kick. And when you've got a guy as dangerous as Fisher, you do everything you can to get his hands on the football.
Here you're going to see the kickoff. Macker strikes it fairly deep. And you're going to see that Verges, number 25, is the one that handles the kickoff immediately. He's going to come back center, and then you're going to see somebody flash right in front of him. There he is, right behind him, actually. 20 Fisher brings it up the sideline, makes a couple of moves, makes some people miss.
Fred Bush going to go to the air. Got a man on the right side, and good defense. Keith McLeod at the last second knocked the ball away from Mike Creer. Looked to be good for a completion, but McLeod, terrific defense.
That was an outstanding play. You talk in college and the pros about closing speed, and that was certainly on display on that play.
Actually looked as though that Fred Bush may have put a little bit too much air under that ball. Probably should have thrown it just a little bit more, but easy to say from up here. 2nd and 10 from the 44. Give it to Fisher, trying to get outside with that speed of his. And nicely done. Good tackle by Brad Crow from his free safety spot. Just came up and simply took the legs out from under Tony Fisher.
Crow, another guy who you could bally as most valuable player. Here you're going to see 41 Smith strings the play along. He's got his blocker in front of him. And you'll see number 4, Brad Crow, comes right up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Tony Fisher did manage to pick up 4 yards on the play. 3rd down and 6 from the 48. Play action. Bush under pressure. Better hurry. Got a man wide open. Number 21. And into the end zone is Cordell Morris. And the place is going crazy. 52 yards, Fred Bush. There's the replay.
And you see at number 17 is Ben Chuha, hot in pursuit there. It looks like he gets a hand on Bush as Bush manages to get the ball away. Wide open, standing in the zone.
Brad Crow late getting over. There's a flag down. Is it coming back?
And was on the line.
And
makes you ineligible.
I said the 21. You're on the line. You're on the line.
Ineligible, man?
Chardon want the penalty. It was obvious.
With all of the noise that we've got up here in the press box, it was distracting to say the least.
5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
It looks like the call, Scott's going to be an illegal formation. They had an extra player on the line.
We had ineligible receiver on the downfield on the offense. Number 82 was covered by 21. Okay.
There's a good explanation for you.
Yeah, third down.
82 normally a tight end, but if he's covered on the line by 21, then he becomes a blocker. He's therefore ineligible.
How about that? Woo!
Now that's a big non-play.
3rd down and 12. Ball spotted back at the 43. Shuffle pass to Tony Fisher, breaking a couple of tackles. He'll get out near the 50 to the 48, but that will be shy of the 1st down. The play similar that the Cowboys used to run years ago. Roger Staubach to Preston Pearson. Any relation?
No relation. No relation.
So they will be short by about 5 yards. Brings up a punting situation for Fred Bush, Scott Macker, and Brad Crow back deep. And Bush gets it away. And that's not Crow, that will be number 2, Ryan Davis. Davis will get it out across the 35 with 8:30 to play in the 4th quarter. Chardon takes over. Actually, they will spot it back at the 34-yard line. A good look at number 21, Cordell Morris. Had the touchdown and had to give it back. Macker in motion. Gonna bring it to Crow around the left side. He'll get across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Taken down by number 25, Tommy Verghese.
We've seen Euclid tonight hit a couple home runs with long plays to Fisher. We don't want to think that Chardon doesn't have that capability. Earlier this year against Riverside, Macker went for 72 yards on a touchdown run, Crow for 69 on a touchdown run. So they certainly have the ability to do it as well.
2nd down and 2 from the 42. Renner powers his way across the 45 to the 48. Good for the 1st down. Good look at Gary Renner. Big, strong kid. 5'10", 215-pound senior. Once again, the all-time leading rusher for the Chardon Hilltoppers. With every yard he picks up, he just puts more and more space between he and the number 2 rusher, Mike Davies. Give it to Macker, breaks the tackle. Inside the 30 down the sideline, finally knocked out of bounds at the 15. Great misdirection, great execution that time by the Hilltoppers.
And we may have a late hit out of bounds, which is going to perhaps bring it even further down the field for the Hilltoppers. Euclid signaling that the foul is against Chardon.
And it looks to be as the Toppers are backing up and the Panthers are waving them that direction.
This is high school ball. It's not the NFL. You can't, there's nothing. Yeah. Dead ball foul on sportsmanlike on the offense. 1st down.
Wendy Babson just taking complete control of the action tonight. Just terrific. Telling the kids exactly what it is, and that's high school. Not much of a pickup for Renner. I tell you, I told him, if you remember, down on the field, I said, make all the right calls tonight. We got the camera rolling. He took me to heart because not only is he making the right calls, he's getting himself plenty of airtime.
A little flair, a little showmanship. There we see a fellow cameraman.
Pickup of 3, 2nd down and 7. Clock moving, 6:45. Ball on the 38. Give it to Crow, coming around. shifting his way inside and out. Down inside the 20 to the 17. Good for another first down.
A phenomenal move by Crow right there as he approached the line of scrimmage. He made a little hop step and cut right back up the middle. Here you see it.
Look at the size of that hole.
Scoop.
And Mark Smiler in the bucket truck was completely lost. But it's okay, Mark, because I've admitted to a couple of those myself tonight, but man, buddy, you were way off.
Mark probably favors a power eye, you think? Something that runs straight
Poor
at
Mark
you.
Smiler. I shouldn't even be identifying him because that is not what you would use as. There's a good look at Mark.
There's Mark. Wave, Mark.
That's not the kind of stuff you put on your
There
resume
you go.
tape, Mark. We'll have to see if we can't get some stuff from a game from last week because you ain't cutting it tonight, buddy, but that's all right. Woo!
See now, last week was a hero's effort because he was in the bucket, in the lightning, and the rain. He was the man last week.
I understand that the water was up to like waist level on poor Mark last week.
He was floating.
And
He
the
had,
week
he had a
before
little
Revere-
dinghy in the bucket.
You know, keep your personal conversations elsewhere. Am I correct that 2 weeks ago, Mark Smiler was stuck in the bucket truck, the power went out on the, and poor Mark was up there for what? They got him down at like 3 a.m.? Is that what that was?
He was up there for quite a while. All right, now we got our mugs on TV there.
Where's he? I don't even. Hello, yeah.
I don't know. Who is that? Is that Brian? Yeah, there he is. There's Brian.
Where's Brian?
Way down there.
I don't see him. He's blending very well. .8:34 to go here in the fourth quarter. We are knotted up at 14. First down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Renner blasts his way inside the 15 down to the 14. Gary Renner continues to churn away, eating up clock and moving the Hilltoppers closer to possibly retaking the lead.
Scott, Coach Bob Doyle made a comment to you about Renner and the fourth quarter and his endurance, and I think that is on display right here.
6:05 and counting. Macker in the slot to the left. Whiting going to keep it inside the 10, taken down by Tommy Verges, number 25, but not before Whiting gets down to about the 8-yard line. 5:45 and counting.
Here you're going to see Walt Macker, number 31 there, walls off a block. Whiting inside the 10, and that'll bring up a fairly crucial third down play right here.
Amos Renix in on the tackle as well. Third down and 1. Especially tough now against that wing D with all this misdirection. Tough situation for the Panther defense. Give it to Renner, and he just steamrollers past a couple of Panther defenders. Good for the first down. Close to the 6, taken down finally by Tommy Verges. But the sticks are moved.
Renner abuses Verges right there, number 25. Verges goes for a couple of yard ride. He was in great position to make the tackle, but Renner just ran him over.
Renner 5'10", 215. Verges 5'10", 155. It's a little bit of a weight advantage.
Did I hear someone say mismatch?
First and goal from the 6. 4:55 and counting. Flags fly. The way these two defenses are playing tonight, one more score could do it.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty. Not your end out here, false started.
You know, Patrick, it has been a well-played game. I believe just one turnover, not a lot of penalties. That is a big penalty. Let's see if we can see it there.
You can hear the referee. He says your end moved. And we'll see that on this play right here. There he is. The left end shifts just a bit.
Wrong time to false start. Clock's moving. 4:40 and counting. First and goal from the 11. Counter. Good counter to the right side. And I believe that was Macker, number 31. And it was. Scott Macker coming into tonight's action, 16 carries, 197 yards, good for 12 yards per rush. Timeout for the Hilltoppers at 4:09 to play. Second and goal from the 10. And I don't know that we could have asked for anything better. Our viewers at home, the fans in the stands, the players, the coaches. It's been hyped. It's been talked about. It's been called David versus Goliath. And speaking of big pizza.
A big pizza.
Big pizzas. There were 4 big ones.
There were huge
And I was
pizzas.
in on it. And they came from the best tasting pizza in Cleveland, Rascal House. They use only the best ingredients, from the dough that's made daily, the special sauce, and the 100% provolone cheese. 4 locations to serve you. Major credit cards accepted. Stop in or have one delivered if you're lazy like me. Sunday through Thursday, 10:30 a.m. to midnight. Friday or Saturday, that's tonight or tomorrow, folks, 10:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. They're open a long time. You can get pizza like, my God, just call them. They're open. They've got great pizza for you. As a matter of fact, they have the best tasting pizza in Cleveland, Rascal House. I hope there's some left. I'm hungry. Oh, this great game has got me hungry. But we've got 4 minutes and 9 seconds to take care of business first. And the Hilltoppers second and goal from the 10. Renner taken down immediately. Al Simpson, number 77, got in there. That was a big, big play by the junior defensive tackle.
Outstanding quickness for a 300-pounder. You can't ask for anything more right there. And this, here we have 3rd and 10. Going to bring up a huge play.
Now we have officials timeout.
And it is 3rd and goal from the 10. Give you an opportunity to play coach here, Scott Zarilla. What do you call?
Oh, I'm not a coach. Not by any stretch. I'm going to tell you that from the beginning before I make myself look dumb. That's a great question because Whiting has been able to throw the football tonight. That's a great call. I'm going to say it's a great question.
Yeah, we'll probably see a little play action pass here. At least that would be my guess.
That's why I am up here in the booth. If I had a remote clue as to what call to make here, I would be elsewhere. And now the line judge running in, Ken Schmidt. And now we've got a timeout for the Euclid Panthers.
I'm not sure if it's in the playbook of the Chardon Hilltoppers, but a halfback option pass, I think, would be an effective play here were I to make the call.
Let's take a quick timeout. Euclid and Chardon, 14-all, 3:22 to play. Don't go away.
What kind of man shoots another man in front of his family?
Mr. Beck, will you shoot Maggie Evers?
No, sir.
On pay-per-view.
Byron D. LeBeckwith is free today thanks to a racist jury, a racist police department, and a racist DA's office.
It's not like there's anything you can do about it.
Alec Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, James Woods, Ghosts of Mississippi.
Man, I've gone the last mile of the way.
Powerful entertainment comes home on pay-per-view.
Right back at Euclid, Sparky DiBiasio Stadium. We are knotted up at 14. Tony Fisher, 2 huge runs, a 64-yarder in quarter number 1 and an 83-yarder in quarter number 3. That's your 14 points for the Panthers. Gary Renner, a 1-yard touchdown run in quarter number 2, a 5-yard touchdown run early here in the 4th quarter. That's where we stand, 14-all. It's 3rd and goal for the Hilltoppers from the 10. Whiting. They are going to give it to Renner up the middle. And Renner will get close to the 5-yard line. Look to be stopped at about the 6. Once again, Al Simpson, 77. Well, now you can bring in Scott Macker, number 31. This could be the biggest kick of the season for the Hilltoppers and for the 5'11", 185-pound junior. But from the 13, it's going to make it a 23-yard attempt. And he just drills it. Scott Macker, 31-yard field goal with 2:35 to play in the fourth. That'll put the Chardon Hilltoppers back on top at 17-14. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with the final moments. Euclid trying to come back.
He strikes fast. He strikes hard. One-man stunt team Jackie Chan strikes up the action right in your home on pay-per-view. Kick into high gear with non-stop martial arts excitement. Order Jackie Chan's First Strike. Pay-per-view makes it easy to bring home the thrills.
.235 remaining. The Chardon Hilltoppers back on top. A seesaw battle, much like, I hate to use the cliche, but I will anyway, a heavyweight fight. These two big fellas here just pounding away on each other. And right now, Euclid is wobbly.
If you want to continue the analogy, you can say that each one has landed 2 huge left hooks tonight. Big plays all around. Big plays account for most of the scoring in this game. Now, if you go back to that 3rd and 10, Scott, a very conservative, very safe play call by Chardon. If they end up winning the game tonight, you're going to say that that was a smart play. If Euclid comes back and scores a touchdown here and they end up winning, then you're going to go back and say, well, maybe they should have gone for a pass, or maybe they should have done something else.
Plenty of time for the Euclid Panthers. Verges will take it at the 10, across the 20, the 25, the 30. A good return for Tommy Verges, out to the 38, finally spun down by number 42, Ken Fester. So this could be the drive of the night. It could be the stand of the night. Which will it be? Well, we've got 2:27 to find out. The ball is spotted at the 39-yard line, and the Euclid Panther faithful right below us are up on their feet. Fumbled football by Fred Bush, and Chardon looks like they've got it, and they do. Wow. Wow.
Miscues and mistakes and absolute. Scott, you said it right there. A huge wow. You don't get any bigger wows than that.
It's not so much a fumble in as much as it's
a mistake at the wrong time.
Clock, the field position that it took place, and how much time on the clock, which is 2:19, trailing by 3, and the way that Chardon can run the football, 2 minutes can go by awful fast.
Absolutely. We've seen it. We talked about it as a key to our game early, that they needed to run the ball, that they needed to keep the other team's offense off the field. If Chardon can do that right now, especially with Euclid out of timeouts, they will lock this game down. They need, in effect, I would say, 1 first down, unless it comes on first down. But if they are able to string together 2 first downs, this game is certainly over.
Well, we are told that the Panthers are out of first downs. So what do you do? Oh, I'm sorry, out of timeouts. I don't even know that Chardon would need to pick up a first down. Give it to Renner a couple of times, give it to Crow.
I think that's a lock. You're going to see Gary Renner here, and I would be willing to put a lot on it.
There's the situation. And there's Renner. And he continues to bulldozer his way down close to the 30-yard line, the 31. Dorian Gould, 45. Tommy Verges, 25. We've called Tommy Verges' name just too many times on defense. What that means is that the Chardon Hilltopper running attack is just getting too far downfield against Euclid.
That means in our keys to the game, you can put another win in the checkpoint column for War in the Trenches for Chardon.
2nd and 3. Renner down to the 26. Clock continues to move. 1:35, and that is good for a first down, and that might do it.
A couple of knees shall be taken by the Hilltoppers, and this game should run out. Unless we see the Miracle in the Meadowlands play of Joe Pisarcik and Larry Zonka.
Oh my goodness, what a disaster. Clock moving, 1:25. Ball at the 26. Whiting kneeling it. And the crowd across the way in the red and black are loving it.
And unfortunately on this side, you see a lot of Euclid Panther fans filing out of the stadium with their heads down.
There's a good look at the folks from Chardon making the 35-minute trip.
Let's give that Chardon Hilltopper defense all the credit in the world.
2 big plays by Tony Fisher to take away the 64 and the 83-yard touchdown runs, and they have completely, I wouldn't say completely, but they've done a great job of really stopping the Euclid Panther offense. 35 seconds. Chardon will improve to 5-0, and they will hand the Euclid Panthers their first loss of the season.
I'm sure this will also boost them up in the rankings. Like we said at the beginning of the show, they came in the 5th ranked Division II school in the state. I am sure that they will move up from that point. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they wound up on top. This is a, if not a convincing victory, very, very sound.
That is going to do it. We are out of time. The Chardon Hilltoppers with a very impressive 17-14 win over the Euclid Panthers. Let's take a quick timeout. When we come back, we hope to hear from Chardon head coach Bob Doyle. You're watching the best of high school football on Cablevision.
I'm going to move back in with Mother. Albert Brooks.
You know I'm happy to see you. Now, why didn't you want to stay in a hotel?
Debbie Reynolds.
How about some sherbet?
Look at the date. You're running a food museum here. They're serving up laughs on pay-per-view.
Look under the protective ice.
You've actually named the clear hard junk that sits on the top? Mother. Help me! Treat yourself to great comedy at home on pay-per-view.
Although we have made great strides in the treatment of those living with HIV/AIDS, AIDS remains the leading cause of death in Americans aged 19 to 44. AIDS Walk 97, Cleveland's largest annual fundraiser for HIV/AIDS, will be held September 28th at Edgewater Park. Proceeds support the programs of 11 local AIDS service organizations. Call 529-WALK today and join us on September 28th for AIDS Walk 97.
There aren't too many second chances in life, so HBO is bringing you Second Chance Tuesday. Because how often do you get another shot at something you missed? Like this, or this, or this, or even this. Every Saturday night on HBO, you're guaranteed a new movie. You know that. What you maybe don't know is that you get another crack at it Tuesday night. Because on HBO, if you missed Saturday Night Guarantee, you need Second Chance Tuesday.
You must see Evita at home on pay-per-view. Madonna, Antonio Banderas, Jonathan Pryce. In the musical masterpiece that won Best Song of the Year. Experience the joy and tragedy of the legend the world calls Evita.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
And welcome back to Euclid. We've got head coach Bob Doyle of Chardon. Bob, thanks for joining us. We know you're in a quick rush. Let's make this very brief. First of all, I don't normally ask this question, but and you don't have to answer, but what did you say to the kids after such a great win on a great night?
Well, I'll tell you what, we've been talking all week about David and Goliath, and I told them, a lot of people don't really know the story of David and Goliath, and he could have been happy after he hit him with the rock, and most people don't realize that he went to Goliath and picked up his sword and cut his head off. And that's what I told the kids at halftime. It was time to finish the job. After the game, I told them not to be happy with this because this game for us is just like David hitting him with the rock and him laying there. We got a job to finish, and hopefully we got a lot of games left to play.
Bob, with the exception of those two big runs by Tony Fisher, can your defense play any better, you think?
I don't think so. We were really delighted. He's obviously an outstanding football player. I thought we did a great job on him, and if we could hold him to 2, he boasted he was going to have 200 yards and 4 TDs against us, and looks like he only got 2.
Bob, before we let you run, you've won a state championship, but how big is this win tonight?
Oh, this is a great win for our program. Our goal for our program is to be ranked in the USA Today, and they say to be ranked in the USA Today, you got to beat schools bigger than you in their place, and we just did it.
Bob, we will pick up the USA Today this week and see where you're standing. Thanks for your time. Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you very much.
Bob Doyle, the head coach of the Chardon Hilltoppers. His Toppers topped the Euclid Panthers 17-14. What a terrific ball game that we were looking for. And what is the secret to Cleveland's best tasting pizza? 18 years of knowing what Clevelanders want and enjoy, using only the best ingredients from the dough that is made fresh daily to the special sauce to the 100% provolone cheese. Rascal House uses only the best ingredients to make Cleveland's best tasting pizza. Rascal House has 4 locations to serve you. Major credit cards are accepted. Stop in or have one delivered Sunday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to midnight. Friday and Saturdays, 10:30 to 1 a.m. Rascal House, Cleveland's best tasting pizza. What more can you say? It was everything we had wanted it to be, everything it was talked about to be. The Chardon Hilltoppers, a thrilling, hard-fought 17-14 winner over the Euclid Panthers. Speaking for Patrick Pearson and the rest of the Cablevision crew, this is Scott Zarilla saying thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Your final once again from Euclid, Chardon 17, Euclid 14. Have a great week, everybody.